What's good, YouTube? Got another video, another reaction. I'm back with another reaction. Jeff Hardy. How good was Prime Jeff Hardy? Let's watch that.
2000s, you knew Jeff Hardy as the coolest man on the planet. The dude just had a different aura and a unique vibe that nobody could replicate. Kids loved him because he did insane high-flying moves. Older fans loved him because he'd been grinding since the Attitude Era with his brother Matt, and he just had a special charisma that made fans connect to him. But here's the thing. For the longest time, WWE saw Jeff as just a mid-card guy. Sure, he could win some Intercontinental Championships and get the crowd hyped, but they weren't convinced that he was main event material. Additionally, Jeff had always dealt with personal issues that made him unreliable. However, in 2008, everything changed. This was when Jeff finally got that main event push fans had been begging for. A 2-year stretch where Jeff went from upper mid-card to WWE champion to world heavyweight champion.
This nigga was the GOAT.
The crowd reactions were insane, the matches were legendary, and the storylines hit different because you could feel how much it meant to him and the fans. So let's take a trip down memory lane and revisit the incredible prime of Jeff Hardy. Let's relive the daredevil moments, the title wins, and the inspirational rise of an enigma into an icon. Our story starts in late 2007. At Armageddon, Jeff shocked the wrestling world by beating Triple H clean to become the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. Jeff was the underdog. Triple H was supposed to win easy, but Jeff got the upset victory with a simple roll-up, and the crowd went nuts because finally their guy was getting a shot at the big one. This set up Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton at Royal Rumble 2008 for the WWE Championship. Orton made it personal by punting Matt Hardy in the head and sending him to the hospital. Jeff got his revenge in one of the most iconic Raw moments ever by hitting a Swanton bomb off the top of the Raw stage onto Orton. Every week, the fans were getting louder for Jeff, and you could feel the momentum building. Royal Rumble was Jeff's night to prove himself. It was Jeff's chance to show everyone that he belonged in the main event. This was his first real shot at the WWE Championship, and he hung with Orton for the entire match. He was so close to winning that title, but Orton caught him with an RKO at the perfect moment. Still, even in defeat, Jeff showed everyone he was main event talent. It looked like the beginning of Jeff's main event push, and WWE had big plans for him. But then, things went south. Right when Jeff had all the momentum in the world, he got suspended for 60 days for violating WWE's wellness policy. The timing is what made it even worse. He was supposed to win the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, but they had to remove him from the match completely. Fans were crushed and angry with Jeff. After years of waiting for his big push, he threw it all away with poor decisions. It felt like the same old Jeff Hardy letting everyone down when it mattered most. But this wasn't the end for Jeff. In fact, this is where his rise truly began.
Literally every time.
Jeff returned from his suspension in May 2008, and you could tell he was hungry to prove himself again. He came back beating Umaga and had the crowd rallying behind him once again. But the real story started when he got drafted to SmackDown in June. This was a fresh start for Jeff, and WWE was ready to give him another shot at the main event. By September, Jeff found himself in a WWE Championship scramble match at Unforgiven. Now, if you don't remember how these matches worked, it was pure chaos. You had 5 guys fighting for 20 minutes, and whoever got the last pinfall when time expired won the title. With literally 15 seconds left on the clock, both Jeff and Triple H went for pins at the same time. Triple H got his count just 1 second before Jeff did, and just like that, Jeff missed his dream of becoming WWE champion by 1 freaking second. But that near miss just made fans want it even more for Jeff. The crowd reactions kept getting louder every time he came out. You could see signs everywhere rooting for Jeff, and people just genuinely loved this guy. At No Mercy, Jeff earned another shot at Triple H for the WWE Championship. This wasn't some fluke where Jeff got lucky. He went toe-to-toe with Triple H for 15 minutes of back-and-forth action. Jeff hit the twist of fate, climbed to the top rope for the Swanton bomb, and the crowd was losing their minds. He nailed it and went for the cover, but Triple H reversed it into a roll-up and got the 3 count. Great match. Lovely callback to their encounter from last year, where Jeff won by roll-up. But the finish proved something else. Jeff wasn't a mid-card talent anymore. Triple H himself had to steal that victory because Jeff was right there with him the whole time. Jeff got another shot at Cyber Sunday, but came up short again. But the fans never gave up on him. If anything, the support got stronger after each near miss. Jeff was so frustrated that he went to SmackDown general manager Vicky Guerrero and begged for one more chance. Vicky straight up told him that he didn't have what it takes to be WWE champion, and that's when Jeff snapped. He started attacking everyone. Triple H, Vladimir Kozlov, even The Undertaker. He was chair-shotting people left and right, crashing contract signings, and basically going insane trying to prove he deserved that title shot. The crowd was behind him through all of it because they understood his desperation. Jeff's wild antics finally paid off when he earned a triple-threat WWE title match at Survivor Series. But then, WWE pulled one of their most questionable storylines ever. They had Jeff found unconscious in his hotel room and rushed to the hospital. Given Jeff's real-life addiction struggles, this was pretty messed up. In storyline, Edge ended up replacing Jeff in the match and won the WWE Championship by taking advantage of the chaos. But this further fueled the fire, and Jeff's crowning moment was just around the corner. Armageddon 2008, Jeff Hardy vs. Edge vs. Triple H for the WWE Championship. This was it, Jeff's last shot at the title. After 4 failed attempts, after all the heartbreak and near misses, he had to deliver or accept that maybe he just wasn't championship material. The crowd was absolutely electric when Jeff came out at Armageddon. Edge got massive boos, Triple H got some cheers, but Jeff got a nuclear pop that shook the building. The match itself was awesome. Early on, Jeff went right after Edge since everyone thought Edge was behind the hotel attack. There were some insane spots, and for a while it looked like Jeff might actually pull it off. But then disaster struck. Edge speared Jeff through an announce table and left Jeff completely destroyed at ringside. Triple H capitalized and hit the pedigree on Edge, going for what should have been the winning pin. But then Vladimir Kozlov showed up to break it up, followed by Matt Hardy to fight Kozlov. In the final sequence, Edge was about to nail Triple H with a chair when Jeff made the save. Triple H hit the pedigree on Edge and went for the cover. But then Jeff came flying out of nowhere with a swanton bomb to break up the pin. Jeff immediately covered Edge himself, and 3 seconds later, Jeff Hardy had finally done it. After a decade of grinding, after being fired twice, after countless setbacks and disappointments, Jeff Hardy was the WWE champion. The emotion was real. You could see how much this meant to him as he celebrated with tears in his eyes. Jim Ross was going absolutely mental on commentary. The crowd was losing their minds. People weren't even leaving the arena. They just wanted to watch Jeff celebrate because they'd waited so long for this moment. What made it special was that you knew Jeff had earned this. It wasn't handed to him. He'd fought through personal demons, career setbacks, and multiple heartbreaking losses to get here. This was Jeff's redemption. Winning the WWE Championship should have been the beginning of Jeff's legendary run, but in wrestling, nothing ever goes smoothly. Jeff's first WWE title reign got cut short by family drama when his own brother Matt turned on him at Royal Rumble 2009 and cost him the title. The storyline was that Matt was jealous of Jeff's success and had been sabotaging him all along, causing those accidents and basically being the worst brother ever. After settling things with Matt in an I Quit match at Backlash, Jeff set his sights on bigger things, the World Heavyweight Championship. He won a fatal 4-way to earn a shot at Edge's title at Judgment Day, but Matt interfered again to cost Jeff the match. But Jeff wasn't going to stay down. He bounced back, beat Edge in a non-title match, and earned the right to pick the stipulation for their rematch at Extreme Rules. Of course, Jeff being Jeff, picked a ladder match. Extreme Rules 2009 was everything you'd expect from these Jeff vs. Edge match. Jeff was flying around, taking crazy bumps, and showing why he was called the charismatic enigma. Edge was being the ultimate opportunist and taking every shortcut in the book to try and retain his title. When Jeff finally climbed that ladder and grabbed the World Heavyweight Championship, it felt like the perfect moment. This was his specialty match type, and he'd finally captured the big gold belt. The crowd was going nuts because Jeff had proven he wasn't just a one-time WWE champion. He was legit main event material. But then CM Punk happened. Literally seconds after Jeff won the title,
That
Punk's music
storyline
hit
was one of
and he
the best
cashed in his
storylines
money in the
ever.
bank
Him and
briefcase. Jeff
CM
was
Punk,
exhausted from the ladder
niggas don't
match,
talk
and
about
Punk
this
capitalized
storyline.
immediately. Just like that, Jeff's moment of glory was snatched away. This started one of the most personal feuds of 2009 and set the stage for Jeff's final chapter. The feud with CM Punk became the defining storyline of Jeff's final months in the WWE. You had Punk representing everything WWE wanted in a champion, while Jeff represented the opposite. Punk would cut these brutal promos about Jeff's lifestyle choices. He'd call him a hypocrite for being a role model to kids while making poor personal decisions, while Jeff had the support of the crowd and kept fighting for the fans. Their matches were awesome because they had completely different styles. Punk was all about technical wrestling and submission holds, while Jeff brought the high-flying chaos that made him famous. At the Bash, Jeff actually won by disqualification when Punk kicked the referee, but titles don't change hands via disqualification. Then at Night of Champions, Jeff got his lick back and won his second World Heavyweight Championship. He made his first successful title defense against John Morrison the next week on SmackDown, but then came the match that defined this feud, the tables, ladders, and chairs match at SummerSlam 2009. This should have been Jeff's specialty since he'd made his name in ladder matches with the Hardys. The build was perfect, with Punk continuing to attack Jeff's character while Jeff just wanted to prove himself in the ring. The TLC match itself was a classic, with a crazy spot featuring Jeff performing a swanton bomb through the announce table, but Punk walked out as the champion. Their final encounter came the following week on SmackDown, a steel cage rematch with the added stipulation of loser leaves WWE. When Punk escaped the cage and the situation dawned upon the fans, you could feel the air being sucked out of the stadium. You had fans crying, and the arena
I
paid
think that
tribute as
next
Jeff's
week,
WWE run came to an end.
and next week he came
The
out
loser
as
leaves
CM Punk.
WWE stipulation was actually a work to write Jeff off TV so he could heal his injuries. Jeff was dealing with neck problems, 2 herniated discs in his lower back, and restless leg
When he
syndrome.
came out as Jeff
His body
Hardy.
was breaking down from years of taking insane bumps and high-risk moves. Plus, Jeff's contract was expiring soon anyway, so WWE used the storyline to give him the exit while protecting both guys. Jeff could leave to get healthy, and Punk got the win to establish himself as the top heel on SmackDown. But here's what made Jeff's exit so bittersweet. You knew you were watching something special end. This 2-year run from 2007 to 2009 was Jeff at his absolute peak. The crowd reactions, the emotional investment, the way he connected with fans of all ages, it was lightning in a bottle. Jeff left WWE at the perfect time in some ways. He'd accomplished everything he dreamed.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. But Jeff Hardy, this prime Jeff Hardy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Prime Jeff Hardy. I had the chain and everything, bro. I was a Jeff Hardy fan. But like, comment, and subscribe. This is the end of the video.